Hey, how you doing, sir?
How you doing?
Tell me about yourself.
First of all, my name is Jihad Miller. I'm a second year business administration student from Baltimore, Maryland, and I currently attend Florida A&M University. So for the past 3 years during the summer, I've been working for DC public pools as a lifeguard. As a lifeguard, I've learned how to stay patient, how to really work with customer service, how to treat customers properly, make sure that their needs are taken care of, keep them safe, and make sure everyone is enjoying themselves and having a great time. As for on campus, I'm really big on mentorship. So I joined the Big Brother Little Brother mentoring program. Last year, I was working to become a big brother. I went through that process, and now I have completed that process. So during October, I received my little brother, and I've been working with him to work on that transition from high school to college. And so far, I've really helped them to deal with life and schoolwork balance, social life, and how to deal with being far away from home.
Great, great. So, what do you know about our company?
About your company, so during my research, I learned that your culture is based on integrity and initiative, and I really like that because companies are really based on how much they can trust their employees and if those employees take the initiative to do more than what they're expected to. And also through your growth strategy, you guys are working on cost improvements, which relates back to your mission statement, which is your goal is to make people's lives better by making mobility accessible, affordable.
All right, great, great. So, tell me about a time that you've had to adapt to a difficult situation.
I had to adapt to a difficult situation. So last year I took part of a business pitch competition, and we were tasked to work on the beauty and cosmetic industry, choose a product for that industry, and pitch it to a group of entrepreneurs at Florida A&M University's some forum event. So it took a while for my group to decide on which product and service to work on. So my idea was to create a survey with the top 3 choices that our group wanted to do. And as a result, we chose to work on makeup remover. And after we decided on that, our project went a lot smoother. We were able to get our work done much faster. We were able to work on how to sell the product, how to make the product, and also work on the financial background of it. And as a result, during the presentation, after the presentation, the judges were very impressed on how I presented myself, how I delivered the product, how I sold it, and just my presentation skills. They were really impressed.
Great, great. So, give me an example of a time that you've contributed to a teamwork environment.
The time I contributed to a teamwork environment. As a person, I love working in teamwork activities because it gives me a chance to learn how different people work on different problems, how they attack, um, just how they think in different situations is really appealing to me. So as early as this year, I received a scholarship, UNCF Cook Scholarship, which is awarded to different youth entrepreneurs across the country. Um, so every year they have a summit for those scholars, and at this summit, they gave us a case competition where we had to solve the problem of student debt and student loan. So in a group of about 5 or 6 different students from different HBCUs and different colleges, we decided to create a system that is linked to the students' online accounts, where before they can choose the different financial aid packages and the different loan packages, the system would pop up a new screen where it would bring up a very detailed report on what that student is signing up for, how well it could impact you further down the line, like by the time you graduate college, and just to help students weigh the pros and cons on how on the decision to make that to take the loan.
Great, great. So, give me an example of a time you've introduced a new idea or procedure.
So like how I mentioned before, I spent the last 3 years as a lifeguard at NDC. Um, so a new procedure that I introduced was changing up our schedules of going up in the chair and watching the people, watching the customers in the water. So for the past year, we've been having a lot of complaints about too many lifeguards relaxing in the manager's room for too long, being on our phones instead of being vigilant and paying attention to the pool. So our supervisor spoke to us about it. She told us to find a way to fix that problem, or else it could lead to some of us being fired. So after discussing it with my fellow coworkers, I decided to switch up the schedules. So I normally we would be on the chair for 30 minutes and then rotate. So instead of doing that, where we had less time in the chair and more time to relax, I decided to put up more chairs at the pool, so that way the rotations would be longer and make the schedule shorter. So we would be in the chair, each chair for 15 minutes, and then have a break at the top of the hour. So that way it ensures that everyone has been on the chair for at least 45 minutes, and then everyone gets a 15-minute break. And then that made sure to ensure that everyone was staying vigilant. And after that, we never had any complaints. Our lifeguards were always being vigilant, and our supervisor was really impressed with our idea. So with my idea, so she went to the district manager, and she suggested to make that in the lifeguard training protocol, because she really liked that idea.
Nice. So give me an example of a time when you tried to accomplish something but failed.
I tried to accomplish something but failed. So when I was applying for colleges, specifically FAMU, I saw a scholarship called the 1890 Scholarship, and it was a full-ride scholarship to FAMU through their agribusiness program. And I applied, hoping that I would be able to get into the study of agribusiness, but also most importantly be debt-free through college. So I applied through high school. I've always had good grades. I was accepted to every school. I've gotten every scholarship that I ever applied for. Unfortunately, I did not receive this scholarship. I was rejected, and it was the first rejection letter I've ever had going through the college process. And at first, I was disappointed, but after speaking through it with my parents, I used that disappointment to energize and drive me to do better, to work harder, so that way I could make sure to earn enough money so I could go away for college.
Great. So what is your greatest weakness?
I believe my greatest weakness is I sometimes move too fast, if that makes sense. A lot of times when I move at a really fast pace, and in doing so, sometimes I make very easy mistakes, whereas if I took my time, those mistakes could be corrected and I could see them through. So what I always try to do is, if I think I went through a task too quickly, I take a minute to step away from whatever I'm doing, take a little break. Then I come back and look over what I did to make sure I didn't make any silly mistakes, as my mother would tell me. So far, this has been working. I've been working at a little slower pace. I've noticed less mistakes, and I've been making great strides in that.
Great. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself working in this company. Hopefully, I will continue to work my way up to the district manager position, hopefully to continue to network with different partners, and hopefully I'll be able to get that position.
So do you have any questions for our company?
Yes, actually I have 2 questions for you. First question is, working at Ford Corporation, what has that experience done for you as a person? And secondly, where do you see the diversity and inclusion of the company going in 5 years?
Okay, so thank you for interviewing with our company. Hopefully you'll hear from us soon, and good luck in your future endeavors, Mr. Davis.
Thank you.